We are go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
Italo Blog Talk Radio.
So, welcome to another episode of Italo's Black Talk Radio. This is Italo, and we have our guest. Hello,
Hello.
that's Kat for
Oh,
you
I'm
guys.
Kathy. I'm Kat.
Also known as Catwoman. That's how I know her because we've been. Can you hear me well with the? Let me turn this off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a few. I'm having a senior moment.
Oh no.
Don't mind me at all. Yeah, it's probably because I just walked 4 miles this morning. Yeah, I walked 4 miles this morning. Encouraged by you, encouraged by Debbie and everybody that was in the Zoom meeting last night. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Should I do it? I'm gonna do it. You know how they do it in TikTok. But yeah, so we're here because Kat and I have met through TikTok, and it's been a wonderful experience. We were talking about it earlier. How it was, it's been crazy, as everybody knows, but it's also been wonderful. So tell us your experience. What has your experience been like
With TikTok?
with TikTok or being in the pandemic and then discovering? I don't know if did you discover TikTok because of the pandemic or was it, before?
Well, I was technically on it when it used to be Musically about 4 years ago. And my son is a creator and a YouTuber, and he had an account. And in order to kind of keep up with him and see him, I got on back then to kind of see what he was up to. And but then, of course, when the pandemic hit is when I actually decided to, get creative myself, with his encouragement, try to, stick my toe in the water. And then little by little, it became something that, I got more and more comfortable with and realized it was this fantastic outlet for creativity and just being yourself and feeling like you have a kind of a judgment-free zone almost. And then realizing it was beyond that, it was a whole community and friends and so much encouragement, just to finally be who you are, and people like being very accepting, and so it's been a good thing that's come out of all this, is to
Right.
have this community.
And then we actually have been connecting uh, outside of TikTok, which is actually more valuable to me to have met people on TikTok and then taking them out of the TikTok, because TikTok is very sometimes very they have censorships and they have a lot of things you can say. You cannot say this, you cannot say that, or I've been banned, or I'm shadow banned. Nobody listens, nobody likes my videos now. What's going on? What did I say? So that's why I personally like it, because now we can be more ourselves than
Right,
we are. I don't know if that makes sense.
right, true, with our zooming and such, and yeah, so
Right.
yeah.
So tell us about your project, because you have a project that you're passionate about. Nothing to do with Lucy, I Love Lucy that you do, or your Golden Girls, or your other things, but you actually have something that you're passionate about outside of TikTok as well. Some things that people may not know about you. So tell us.
Well, so yeah, out of many years of volunteer work, organizing meal program and organizing volunteers. I got deeper and deeper into the realm of helping people. I guess I kind of like to say maybe people in transition rather than saying homeless. I kind of like to say people, that are facing homelessness. Try to kind of help so that it's not a label of that's who they are. It's just an unfortunate time that they're in, that kind of thing. I just started learning, and I kind of fell into it through a church group, and it was like all of a sudden I felt like I was home, and I felt like I was meant to be there, and that was probably some of the happiest I've ever been, just realizing that all of the things I'd been through all were, I guess, kind of, they made me know more and be more compassionate and maybe understand more. So it was all for a reason. It was like a really amazing time to, everything was kind of in perspective, and just, it was really wonderful. I just started off by volunteering for this meal program, and little by little, I kind of almost took it over, kind of put my spin on it, my personality into it. And my son, my oldest, he helped me with it. And we kind of ran this really beautiful meal program where we actually kind of served them as if we were in a restaurant. And it was, or if we had time, we'd sit down with them. And, it just kind of grew and grew. And I was there a lot. So I got to know a lot of the people and their stories. And so my eyes became more and more open as to how many different stories there are, how many reasons that people might have found themselves in that situation. And it isn't just one, it isn't just because they don't have a job or whatever, or, there are definitely layers upon layers of why people are out there. And so I got to know about the resources, because once you start to get to know people and you realize, well, this is what is the issue for this particular person, what do we do for that? How do we help with that? And so I started just visiting different organizations, people that would let me have a tour, or with shelters, with other meal programs, with other there was a really amazing program that had 365 days a year, always guaranteed that they would always have lunch, no matter what. They had a shower. They had, I think, laundry. I think a mail service where they could use it like a PO box kind of situation, so they could start connecting and having that. They had a garden. They had a soccer program, an art program, and I just started meeting incredible people and just getting more and more involved. It almost became, a job, but in a good way, I guess. Just that I couldn't get enough of understanding and learning. And, especially the more I was actually out in the street, in the camps, or seeing exactly what they would go through in a day, or how they prepared for an evening, or how they prepared for the rain, or how they took care of each other. That was amazing.
Right, because tell me where you are again. I forgot, I meant to mention that earlier.
This was in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm in the Carolinas. Right now I'm in South Carolina, but yeah. And so just, yeah, it was just a beautiful thing to kind of see. I mean, it was also very hard. It was, emotional, and it was something that sometimes I would take home with me, because it's hard to, when you see things up close and personal, and that someone is suffering, finding vets with medical issues sleeping outside. There was one gentleman in particular, and it was a very sweet story in a way too, because I had gotten to know this one gentleman who was volunteering with me, but he was also in that situation himself, but he kind of looked after this man, and like it was just kind of so I just remember trying to make as many phone calls as I could, trying to understand, well, what can we do? And um, got some other people involved, and they did get him a bed with, I guess, the vet services or something. I can't remember because that was a while ago. But um, there's just some things that you can't do anything about. But then sometimes there's like, well, hey, I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna make some calls, and I'm gonna see, because sometimes you just can't let go of what you see, and this is a human,
Right.
and so like you just have to learn how to have boundaries and separate it all, and just find out what are the ways you can be productive in helping people.
Right. Yeah. And also, well, the pandemic is going around here in LA as well, as you probably know. Actually, I have a whole community of people that are outside the building across the street. Is, as you know, everywhere in the all the along the highways, they have campments, or
Yeah.
basically they set up their tents, and so they have a community. They just moved in about, I think, 3 months ago or something like that, because they another thing that happened was we have where I was walking today, where I was walking in the park. They have an area. It's in the Sepulveda Pass here in the valley, and so there was a big camp there where there was a lot of people that were homeless, but they kicked them out every time because they created fires, or they blame them for the fires. And
Mhm.
so it's very, and so they are moving everywhere now. But it hits you when it hits you when they're like right across the street, and you're like, and then I mean, what can I do is the question, right? What is it that we can do? Because we're struggling too. We're, I'm struggling
Mhm.
as everybody, but we could always do something, and sometimes
Right.
it's not enough, you know.
Sometimes the biggest thing is that you do see, that you do care, that you say hello, that you treat people, just make sure that they feel, that they matter and they're human. And because like you said, a lot of us don't have resources. I definitely am in that boat too, where I don't have really resources. But and then if you do feel like you have a little to give, sometimes the best thing is to find out, do some research about the organizations around you and what they're doing, and maybe to help support them, because maybe they have their finger on the pulse a little better as to
Yeah,
what they all need, or just giving people food if you have it, just
right.
um, because sometimes you don't know if you know giving people money directly. um, I mean, I guess you kind of go with your own instincts and your own feeling at the
Mhm.
time, because my boss once called it intelligent compassion. And I love that, because because there could be different situations where, like, the people that are on the highway with the signs and things like that, and you just never know. And it's all about kind of, I always would take the time to kind of, if I could, if it was, safe, and um, hi, how are you? I'd like, even sometimes maybe even asking them, their name, is there something I can pray for you? Or do you need, is there something that you need? And you can tell when there's a genuine connection, and they're just so, um, I don't know, kind of glad that you're talking to them, and they're, that you can
Yeah,
feel that if all I had in the car was a blanket to give them, or all I could do was get you one small meal, or all I had was $5, and the gratitude. Um, I once gave a lady a pair of socks, and she just about burst into tears. And it was like I handed her, a diamond, because, she didn't have clean, dry socks. And that was like, wow, that's actually how I started my project Warmth, because I had been crocheting my entire life, and everybody was kind of tired of getting all those scarves and you
Yeah.
know slippers and everything, and I'm like, okay. And then I realized, oh wow, I can get a whole community of people to make handmade warm items for the winter. And you would see like how the gratitude and everything, and that also that we handmade these items, that it was just kind of a little extra. And we just had a really good time doing that. We even would teach people how to crochet and how to knit, so they could be a part of it. So I did that for a really long time. Just, so that was,
Right. Yeah, like
yeah.
you said, something that you said is really interesting because, and I haven't spoken to many of them, but my boyfriend used to be as well in that situation. And so the thing that he said is like, it's about making them feel like they matter and they are people and they appreciate that you're talking to them because they feel invisible. They feel like they're not
Hmm.
worth talking to. And
Right.
so, and he, I had to learn. I had to learn that anybody can be in that situation. I could
Hmm.
be in the situation. Anybody, So, and yeah, I took it too hard one day too with when I used to work, and I had coworkers that were always criticizing them, blocking the sidewalk or the whatever, and I'm like, you don't know what they're going through. So, and I actually went up to them also, and I started out of nowhere. I just started sending them, bringing them coffee, tea, coffee, and stuff. It was like around the holidays too, but that was a while ago, and they were appreciative that I was just remembering their names. Is also interesting.
Hmm.
It's important to them that, hey, you remember my name.
Yeah.
So, and they're cool. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just, there's a stigma about being homeless. And I like what you said too, like, don't call them homeless because doesn't define who they are. They're in transition.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a tough topic. It's tough.
Yeah, and I think people probably now, maybe there's more room for people to understand more because everybody is struggling. I mean, well, a lot of people are struggling financially because of loss of job, or COVID has changed so many things. So maybe, people can kind of relate a little more. I mean, I was a single mom for a long time, and so things were always hard. And there were times where I did lose homes or cars or different things, and was always in a point of just barely scraping by, or so I definitely could relate. And I was always super fortunate because I have good strong family and friends, and but then there's people out there that maybe they don't have family, they were in the foster care system or whatever the case may be, maybe they don't have a support system, and then that paycheck stops, or that one thing happens, or that one tragedy strikes, or they get in a health issue, or you just never know. It's just one little thing could happen and it shakes everything. And it's just all a matter of like what resources are around you, maybe.
Yeah, I can imagine it's gotten worse with the pandemic. I'm
Yeah.
assuming so, and it's just evident now here. Like you see it, it's just kind of like normal to see that, and it's not. It shouldn't be, but it is normal.
Yeah.
Especially in California, California, great weather. You can go to the beach, and usually they hang out in Venice and stuff. But they're just
Mhm.
everywhere now. It's not even just one area in downtown. The what do
Um,
you call it? They have a name for it. The midnight mission. Skid Row. Hello. It's not just Skid Row anymore. It's just turn around the corner. There's another one, and just
yeah.
yeah. It's it's sad because we feel, or I feel like we are kind of like with our hands tied. We wish I could do more, but
Hmm.
yeah, there's all this politics and stuff too that we have to deal with.
Right. And that's why, and people need to know too that if they're so inclined, you do have a voice and there are ways you can help. I got involved a little bit, I guess, politically, you might say. I got to know some of the, um, you know, city council, county commission, kind of, getting involved a little bit. And I spoke once to city council and the mayor about affordable housing. And because there was kind of, a stigma attached, and it kind of, like, you know, the fact that people assume that because you do need, affordable housing, what does that mean? That you're somehow not a clean person, that you're not, that you're a criminal, that you're like, there's something wrong with you, like that, and it's so offensive, that there's that, well, we don't want this coming near us, and it's like talking about people that just need a decent fair rent, and they just, they're just trying to, take care of their families or whatever. It's so it was really frustrating me, so I actually gave, quite a speech about that, just kind of also shining a light on who I was and my situation, and
Right.
and just, you know there's so many things that could be put in place. And there are some really great organizations. We have one here that is, their thing is to try to prevent homelessness. So if people are realizing they're struggling with rent or power, you go and you get that taken care of because you're about to be evicted or you're about to have your power cut off.
Right.
And there, you just have to look and find what resources in your area that there are, and maybe help support them when you're in a place to kind of find a way to keep people from not having to face that.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah, it's well, incredibly hard right now in LA. As
yeah,
you've been here before, so you know how expensive it gets. And as soon as you
right.
move, everything goes $2,500, $2,000. How can you afford it? It's
I don't, yeah, I don't,
crazy.
yeah, that's crazy. Even Charlotte has gotten pretty expensive. That's, we
Mm,
live outside of it.
right.
And it just keeps that area grows and grows and grows. You think you move further out to get a little bit cheaper, but then all of that expands and follows you, and the prices keep going up and up and up. And then you face things where, your job is affected. You know, I mean, right early on in the pandemic, we weren't sure. I help to manage a tutoring center, and so it, it there was a couple of weeks I wasn't working, and then we started going to online, and it was kind of, so I didn't have a lot of hours for a while either. So but now, I mean, we're doing pretty well. Kids really need us, so even though we're still doing the online, but it's, yeah, so you can see how easily you can be affected just by some hours being cut, or so if somebody
Hmm.
completely loses their job, how, and rent rolls around, and you know
Yeah.
it's just, you can see how easy it is to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, TikTok doesn't pay us enough to.
Oh,
Just kidding. We could
yes,
be
and as fabulous and creative
my
as we are,
whole
they
seven
should.
dollars. My whole $7 can go to the homeless.
Well, that could be
The little
one meal for
money.
somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Can
Sandwich.
even catch it out.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
if people want to help in your area, what should they do? Where should they go? Is there a website?
Oh, well, yeah, in Charlotte, there's the Crisis Assistance Ministry, there's Urban Ministry Center. Um, trying to think of, there's a lot of good organizations there that, like I said, crisis assistance is the one that helps prevent people
Mhm.
from losing their homes. And Urban Ministry Center does a lot of things. They have, and it's been a while, so I'm a little out of the loop as to current things, but I know that I'm pretty sure they're still going strong. But I think that they even had a housing component as well. But yeah, and like it is like that is probably the best thing you can do is support an organization. And then I said, like I said, also just treating people very with kindness and respect. You
Right.
know,
I think our
or
perspective has to change about homelessness and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. There's also like the mental health component, and I'm not familiar particularly with the organizations that help with that, but that's something to look at. I know there's really good ones. Um, and there's a really great movie, The Soloist, that
Mm,
helps kind of help you understand.
yeah, that was
Um,
hard.
that's an incredible movie, but that's a true story.
Mm,
That's and I actually became so fascinated that I looked up. This was years ago, and to this day, I still follow his sister on Facebook.
oh,
And
okay.
I've there was a time where I was dealing with a gentleman who I had some sort of mental issue, and I didn't know what to do. And I think I reached out and asked her some questions about that. But she runs an organization in Georgia. I think is it Atlanta? Um, NAMI. Is it NAMI? National Alliance for Mental. I'm getting this all wrong. I should have looked it up.
That's okay.
But there are,
What
yeah, I don't want to get it
if
wrong.
you can think about it later, I'm gonna post whatever. If you have any resources you want me
Oh,
to post,
okay.
I'm gonna put it below.
Oh,
So if you're on YouTube or if you're listening to Spotify or
okay.
Anchor or whatever, I'm gonna post whatever link you think people should know about below. So I know right now it's
Yeah.
like we were not prepared to talk
No, I know I
to
should have done more.
specifics.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's like that if you can find people that are doing good work that you can get behind, that's kind of a really in organizations like that where they actually help raise awareness about, mental illness and things like that, so that people can just have a better understanding and then maybe find ways that they can actually help them.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah, and unfortunately, yeah, we don't have ways to. It's tough right now because how do you read? How do you approach them too? You have a mask on, you take your mask off, or what is it? It's and then there's
right.
no. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. That's crazy.
Yeah,
But
COVID kind of makes
anyways,
everything harder.
COVID is just 2020 has to just be canceled. I
Yes,
always say
please.
that, but yeah, we need. Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. No, that's not tomorrow. It's Tuesday, right? Jeez, the
Yeah.
elections.
Yeah, we shall see the next
Yeah, we
chapter.
shall see. Next chapter, exactly. I'm ready for next chapter.
Yeah.
And but anyways, speaking of happier topics, now that you're creating more, you're more creative in your TikTok world. What do you see yourself doing next in your creations?
Well, I'm always thinking of new things to do because it's opened up such a fun part of myself. So, and I'm getting braver. So I a little less critical. I'm like, you know what? This is fun, and I would definitely like to. I have some fun ideas about when I am able to go live. I have some fun things I'd like to do with that, and maybe even doing something to help raise awareness for some things too. Once I have a
Yeah.
platform, I think that would be fun. There's some people that are doing that, so I can actually give you that later too. Some people that are already
Mm.
doing things like that. But Yeah,
He
I just want to
actually
continue having fun.
there's actually well you were talking about your knitting, the knitting crochet you were talking about, and also there's so many ways to raise money that is fun for people, like to like liquid Shano. I don't know if you follow him. I think you do.
Yes, I do.
And so he does the avatars, and then he doesn't really have any specific organization, but he takes it to the servers, whatever
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. I like that.
It is.
But yeah, we should come up with something. We should come up with
Yeah,
movie trivia as my specialty, or my, and something fun where we
right.
could raise money. We should
Yeah,
think about that.
yeah.
Anyways,
I think there could be something there.
yeah, and we have a fun group of people. So we have Jesselyn could do the tarot reading, and anyways, we can come up with stuff, right?
Yeah, I
And
think so.
but it's always iffy to do it through TikTok because of the big cut. They take 67% of all the gifts, which is like, really? Okay,
Oh,
that's
right.
crazy. No
Yeah.
wonder I only have $7. Yeah. But anyways, that's a different story. But yeah, so your son is right now busy, but we're gonna have a part two with your son. What does he do that he's very popular? I haven't even followed him, so I have like no clue what he does on TikTok or on
Well,
his social media.
he does a lot of different things. So he is very creative and very fun and different like me. Kind of he gets a little bit of it from me. Some of the characters and such he started on YouTube. So he got kind of popular with some of his characters, and then he has kind of he also is into fitness and health. So that's part of what he does, kind of helping people to be more fit.
Mhm.
That's been a passion of his since he was in high school. He really loves to help people with that, and he cares a lot about that. Just in general, people being healthy, he really cares about that. So that's really cool. So he has a following for that, and then he has the following for, um, his shenanigans, shall we say? Um, he likes to do maybe kind of, I guess, sort of practical jokes and things like that. But then he has his little characters that he does. He has his Tarzan and Nerdy Boy and different things, and he just makes people laugh and smile. He actually does that in real life. He goes around and does these things, and I've seen it. I've seen him make people smile. Kind of droning along. Oh, I gotta go to the Walmart and get this and that, and then he comes along in his Tarzan outfit, and all of a sudden everybody's just lit up and smiling, and wow, like I didn't know this trip to the store was going to turn into this, theatrical event.
And then,
Um, yeah, and
that's
so it's
cool.
kind of neat. I'm kind of proud of him, some of the stuff he's done, and I think now more than ever we need a lot of this, a lot of,
Hmm.
laughter and because life is difficult, and anything we can do to make it less difficult or forget about it for a minute. And I
I
think
mean,
he
that's
helps.
kind of like why that's we were talking about it too. How we're staying away from the negativity from not only from TikTok but Facebook and all the other social media and newscast and whatever. So we go to TikTok to escape, not to escape
Hmm.
reality, but just to have a
Hmm.
little distraction and little fun. I mean, there's nothing new, and there's no theaters anymore. So I think
Yeah.
it's helped me a lot to be more think of ways of how to entertain people, but at the same time educating people or having like subliminal messages. I don't know if that happens to you, but I
Hmm.
always pick things that are really funny, but at the same time make you think, oh my God.
Are you still
Uh,
there? Your picture disappeared.
I am here. Sorry, this political.
Uh-oh.
I'm not getting political, guys, but there's a political call, and actually, I purposely put in political call so I don't pick it up.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do that too. I label the calls. Yeah.
oh my God, yeah, this better be. Also, it will be over 2 days. We can do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
that's been
be
my
there.
experience with TikTok, and like I said, creating communities, which is
Mhm.
what we're. Yeah, I see that. I see something. Something's already brewing in my head. Probably yours too, but
Yeah.
we'll plan something, right? And do stuff,
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Absolutely. I think that would be
Yeah.
great.
And so not only are you the daughter of, you have a two daughter, well, you have a 27-year-old, right?
Yes.
And a 9-year-old,
And yes.
uh,
And I'm a grandma of a 4-year-old.
and a grandma. Wow.
I'm
So
Nana.
you have to goggle, yeah, you have to jiggle, jiggle, not
Yeah.
jiggle,
It's oh
juggle everything.
well, there might be a little
Sorry.
giggling going on
Like I said, I'm not 100% right now.
either.
So it's like, what did they say? Jiggle? I don't know if you jiggle, but you probably juggle a lot of things.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I do. But yes, it keeps me on my toes.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
so, yeah, let's have another meeting. Let's talk to Tarzan, since you're Tarzan's
Yes.
mom. Let's have him on the
Yes.
show, and then we have something fun, something to, and then actually, yeah, it will be fun to do something for towards homelessness or charity. That would be cool. So,
Yeah, I think so too. I think that would
right,
be great.
great. Well, how do people follow you? What is your handles?
Oh, so TikTok is Catwoman16. And I do have a YouTube. I'm Super Catwoman 69.
Oh, okay. So you got
So
okay.
I just have a few things I've thrown on there. But
So what do you come up with? Obviously, your name is Cat, so that's why you come up with Catwoman. But
well, I love
anybody
Wonder
can call
Woman.
you, oh,
So
Wonder Woman.
yes. So
I
I love
see.
her. The original Wonder Woman from back, Linda Carter.
Yeah, Linda
Actually,
Carter, obviously.
Linda Carter is fantastic. I follow her on Instagram. And
Oh,
she's amazing. She is so beautiful, and
she's gorgeous.
she oh my gosh, but like
Hmm.
she's something I enjoy following her. So yeah.
Even I had a crush on her when I was a kid. I'm like, she's
Mm,
gorgeous. She's
yes.
her eyes, and I didn't know she was Mexican too. I'm like, she's Mexican?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
gorgeous,
and she still looks so great. Yeah.
stunning. Yeah.
So yeah.
But anyways, we have 1 minute to go.
Oh,
Anything you want to tell the audience, my
I
audience, your audience?
well, thank you. I want to say thank you to you, and this has been lots of fun. And thank you to everybody who is so lovely to me on TikTok, because I feel like I get so much great support, and I love it. I love all my new friends on TikTok. So very
All right.
happy.
Well, thank you for stepping by, and we didn't see this coming today, and we're gonna schedule a part two pretty soon. So thanks for tuning
Okay.
in. Follow me everywhere, up here, down below. I don't know where I'm pointing
Oh
right now.
yeah.
So all right.
We are go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a low blog talk radio.